Yes, Ben and I are busy narging about whether or not to start West Iceland in 766.
So, yes, there is an Irish Catholic called, I don't know how you pronounce it, Dicuil, Dicuil or something,
Yeah.
who his capital becomes, well, I presume that's, what? Sorry, anyway, who I think becomes, possibly among other things, Count of West Island in 766. Well, on the 2nd of January 766, so you may have to ask 767 to get it, and dies in 786, presumably thus leaving West Island vacant until the Norse turn up in 866.
Okay, let's turn up as the Norse in 867.
So you can play as a short-lived and doomed Irish settlement.
Oh, good.
100 years before 867.
Let's not do that. And if I get really bored, I can, of course, play as Jorvik, or Holmgarðr, or indeed Viken. Right. Right, here we are with Ingólfr of Vestisland. Right. Let's give this another go, this time trying not to die embarrassingly.
Takes place on a fully 3D map, but it is a fully 3D map in a data projection, which is a bit silly.
It's true.
Rather than like a sphere.
So, here am I. I am unmarried. I need to marry someone. Let's try and marry someone with, like, measurable martial. I'm inclined to marry her on the grounds that she's generally useful. Yeah, doesn't have terrible stats in anything. Unlike me, right. Let's invite her to court. Let's pick an ambition to get married. Okay. I'm unmarried. I should choose a successor. Which is Hjólafr. We should try and arrange not to make him heir this time. Right. So. Okay, astonishingly. Right. Right. So I do have some choice for some jobs. Right, so anyway.
Yeah, so the advantage of starting with the Irish visitor is that you do get the whole of Iceland.
Right, what I should do with my Chancellor is get him sowing dissent with my next door neighbours.
Careful. Your next door neighbour probably doesn't have any vassals.
Good point. let's go.
Sowing descent, sows descent between someone and their vassals. So, or
Let's
rather strictly between someone
get
and
him sowing descent in Jorvik then. I'm sure that's going to be amusing. So. Right, let's train troops with them. Let's get you building my legend. You get to study technology somewhere. Let's get you studying technology in France. I'm sure that's a terrible place to be at this time, but whatever. And try myself all the way back up here. Let's get you building zeal. Minor titles grantable. Designated regent. I'm sure we can find a cupbearer who's match. Right. So there we are. Let's unpause and see if my preferred wife turns up. Hooray! We have a wife. Right, I need 13 prestige, much more than I need 10 gold at the moment. Let's also zip over to intrigue and mark as interesting the idea that we commission a runestone. We don't have any factions. Lol technology, what is that? And we have a thingy. So I think... Oh, right, there we are. I have fulfilled my ambition to get married. So... I'm going to set my ambition to have a son.
So what's the current inheritance law situation?
Ooh. Magnetic elective.
Right, so he's currently magnetic.
Confirmation of crystal state.
Ooh.
Yes, changing to magnetic cognatic looks like it's not...
Even slightly feasible.
What?
Oh.
You only need to reign for 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
obviously you can't do it now, but the point is, in 10 years' time,
Yeah.
when you are all of 37 years old and thus stand a reasonable chance of not yet being dead,
On a good day, yeah. Right,
you
let's...
can double the number of people you can choose from, which, given that the number of people you can choose from okay, at that stage, given it got down to 0, hang on, doubling that doesn't help you. But in practice, there were quite a lot of female candidates, if only they had been candidates.
Yes. I'm thinking that my ambition... I'm not going to necessarily pick my ambition to be King of Norway. Yes, it allows me to subjugate more than one bit of Norway. But Ireland looks like much easier picking.
That would probably require moving your capital if you want to actually take it as ambition.
Well, yeah, but...
Though, on the other hand, given your given that you have conquest available, you could. You might not need the ambition though, like the 500 bonus prestige at half price kingdom might be helpful.
I need to let time tick along moderately fast. Until I get to the point where people start nagging me about going on raids, at which point I'll start going on raids. Right, my wife has become my seer. She is, in fact, better. Yes. So. So I'm Ingólfr. I'm not Ingólfr Naddoðr. I'm really not. I'm really not. I'm Ingólfr Arnisson Björnrolfsson Hroðmundarson. We do not have surnames. We are Icelandic.
And for the most part, it to do that. The game certainly understands that in general. Where's the definition of the Norse culture then? Yes, I mean, it certainly understands that Norse should use patronymics. Oh right, so your dynasty is not actually Vesti's land. It's Naddoðr. Right.
Naddoðr.
Naddoðr. No, I can't actually manage that sequence.
Naddoðr.
Thank you, Verity. How is this spelled?
Naddoðr.
Right.
Old Icelandic is a protonically stressed language, like nearly all Germanic languages.
Go on, say it again.
Naddoðr.
Right, good.
But that means I should rename the stream to match your.
There's no such thing as House Naddoðr in.
Well, you might think there is.
Iceland. Yes!
But House Naddoðr disagrees.
Yes! I'd just like to point out that which one of us has degree.
And which one of you is defining the reality you're playing in?
Me. Damn it. Yeah. Ooh, I've got a Wikipedia page. How exciting. Right, I assume that any second now someone's going to whinge at me and say, hey, as a tribal leader you should go and annoy people right now. But I'll keep waiting. Oh no, I've got basically the max that I can get from my demean at this point. So since I'm currently maximally was-named, I think it is time to raise my troops. And go raiding. Right, we are all the raiders of Ingólfr. Let's go and stop off it. Now we kind of understand how raiding works. And back into the sea with you. And back to the sea with you. Right. And on to the next sea area. Incidentally, you should all read Egil Saga, it's really good.
State.
And Jarl Saga. Jarl Saga is great. Jarl. State. Back into the sea with ya. Oh dear, something's happened to my marshal. Right, let's see if we can invite anyone.
Okay, actually, it was House Naddo'r last time as well. Just paying so little attention, I didn't manage to get the dynasty name correct in the ending.
Whoops. Oh well, states.
That's the previous thing again. I'll tell you for that.
Right, organise raid, train troops. That's what I want to do. There's Ireland, right. What have we got here? Right. So, I've got some troops available. So I just need to use them within the next year. So I think what I'll do is ship my guys home. And see what wonders they bring back. Come on, get informed. Right, I got 15 gold and 15 prestige. Woohoo, alright. Right, we can disband you lot. So, I have a total of approximately 800 stoats. What can I do with 800 stoats? Well, Orkney is a definite possibility. But then, so is Tyrconnell. Hello. You know what? I'd like to declare war on you. Oh, you've got a mate. Oh, that's on my side. Right, yes, okay. So, we are at war with you. Right. Raise levies, glue together, insert on ship, ship over there. Glue together. Why am I leading this army? There is no way, God's green earth, I should be leading this army. Right, disqualify myself from leading armies. In charge of that, on the other grounds that he's not completely hopeless. And let's sort off to here. So 20% chance I become shy, 50% chance I become stressed, 45% chance I become gregarious. Can't afford the hit on fertility. Let's take the small hit on diplomacy. Let's bring you ashore in Jorvik. No one's going to complain about that, honest. Let's wait for my people to recover their what's name a bit. What's name recovery continuing. That's probably enough what's name, they'll recover the rest as they meander gently into Tyrconnell. Fortunately, that just about worked. Whew. It's a little bit scary, but that's got us 14% war score. I should remember that we have no technology and can't do anything. We're like, what end of a sword is this? That was the wrong one. We're probably busy going around. Look at my nice swanky iron sword. Is it not swanky and irony? Oh, a book without a title was pushed into my hands by a hooded man clad in midnight blue. Something was said but was lost in the confusion. The book was still there. Hey, wait. So 20 piety and intense study of the book will follow. It wants me to read it, and I get a monthly boost of prestige and piety. Well, I think a monthly boost of prestige while I've got elimination is quite nice, because prestige is, of course, primarily what every budding conqueror wants. Now we're sieging Rathworth. No idea what that is. Come on, right. Let's also bring my ships into land, which I can do. Let's unpause, because, you know, sieges happen even more slowly when you don't press the go stoat. Win the siege, you can do this. Hooray! 100% release the otter. Disband the army, disband the warriors, because they'll be out of time shortly anyway. Right, I'm going to deal with my demean problem. Let's give her a temple and see if she likes me anymore. Right, she now actually has a positive opinion of me. Right, I'm going to leave us paused there, because I do need to go and faff the laundry, otherwise I don't have a very nice bed to sleep in tonight. Right, so we join our moribund.
Those sounded like bourbons. Oh, what do
I guess.
Is it all that's in there? Yes.
So, how are we doing? Ooh. Get some levies up. So, how are we doing ship-wise? Let's go and have a look at our military tab. Right. I cannot yet do anything. Oh, the peasants told the whole castle. Okay, let's leave the word castle aside for the moment. I will come back to it. About a dragon they saw in the forest, and now eager young men keep nagging at me about a true dragon hunt. So, obviously at this point we don't have castles. We really don't have castles, especially not in the sense that people think of them as big great stone things. Certainly we do not have castles, even wooden ones, in Iceland. We have longhouses. Really, people, honestly. So I can lose 1 gold and 10 prestige. No. Fearsome dragon thou doth not scare me. Well, I could do with 1 martial. I get prestige, but I lose diplomacy. Don't like that. I will kill it and hang its head. So I improve my right. I'm going to go with fearsome dragon thou doth not scare me. It's not doth. Thou doth not scare me. Right. This has given me a martial score of 1. But very state. Right, so what are we? Who are we? Where are we? Let's just check that I have in fact got you studying technology. You are studying technology, but you're quite useless as spy master, so yeah, states really.
Remember that video of the auto transform Optimus Prime I showed yesterday?
Yes.
Apparently you say convert to it to transform, and someone posted a reason why this is, because if you say transform to it, it makes the name Transformers into a descriptive thing rather than just a title, and they'll lose their trademark for Transformers apparently. So clearly, you know, that all the cartoons say transform and roll out all the time. Transform is what they do. Really?
Trademarks are weird, but possibly. Right, so my wife is pregnant. I get 5 prestige just for having managed to impregnate my wife. Great, I guess. So what am I? I'm a dutiful cleric. Which is presumably why I got a weird book thrust upon me in the middle of the night. Which is, you know, probably a very substantial portion of my thing. Although I seem to remember that, you know, the Vikings went around stripping the silver off book covers and so on, so I can't imagine that literacy with books was the highest priority. Literacy with runes, however, and bits of wood, however, might be a bit more appropriate. The book is gibberish but also enlightening, but even if I struggle with some chapters, its mystery still engrosses me. Something is concealed in the book's language, and I am determined to find out what. The secret will soon be mine. Wahahaha. The book's secret. I'm sorry, I always have to pick that option. It's probably the wrong option, but, you know, I kind of have to. Right, so I've gained the trait Scholar, which gets me +3 learning.
I hope you have a book again.
And I appear to have a book again. Let's see if that does anything good. Hurrah! It took me several weeks before the mystery of the book revealed itself to me. The gibberish parts are encoded, and after many hours trying to decipher the code, I managed to break it and construct a key to make the book easier to read. The mystery is still not solved. Ooh, I gained the trait Mystic. Where's my Mystic? Right. +1 stewardship. This rate, I might actually have a credible stewardship in a bit.
Oh, you've got a domain limit of 5. You can control the whole of Iceland and then some.
It's true. I just, I need... What, of course, I can do is if I keep getting prestige, I can... Ooh, a sun, a veritable sun. Right. Diddly-do. Let's go. Right, let's have an otter. I can't accent his O properly, but never mind. It's not like I should be doing this in anything up in runes. Right, so I've had the ambition to have a son. So let's not do the ambition to... Let's have the ambition to have a daughter, on the grounds that, as we have seen, it is vitally important to... Right, can I nominate my heir as my son? Let's just check. Right, he's obviously a state. Right, good.
No, he's not.
Well, yeah. Yes, well, I have to be a bit careful here, because otherwise he might turn out to be a big man in the gay community, and this is perhaps not ideal in a dynastic situation. Well, medium-sized man. Right, so it occurs to me that maybe I should go raiding soon. Oh dear, I'm ill. Maybe I shouldn't go raiding just yet. So, what's the prestige rate? Oh dear. Hooray, I'm not sick. Right. Actually, let's go to Orkney. Hooray, my wife is pregnant. Okay, I've got another son, but unfortunately I didn't get to name him, presumably because we were too busy,
In Ireland.
yeah. Okay, paused. Don't know anyone's going anywhere. Ooh, a daughter. Right. Right, I've had a daughter. Let's pick ambition. Let's improve my martial ability. Right. Game. Nice long trip raiding around Ireland. My big plan is to try and get enough prestige and whatever to be able to So he has 9 state diplomacy. Right, okay, you are now my new king's estate.
I think you've got you wrong.
Back in the sea with you. Come on, try the getting the hell out of here manoeuvre. Right. However, I got my troops away. From that little small problem. I did lose a few people, but not too many. Yes, my hope is that I can try and ooh, I can commission a runestone. Right, well, let's commission a runestone. Right, it's going to speak of me. Great knowledge of the world because I'm a scholar, or just... Well, let's see what they go for a scholar. I mean, to be fair, learning is my only thing that's in double digits, so... Right. So they have slightly more troops than me, but they have nowhere near as much prestige. My plan, you'll admire its simplicity, is to try and get to 500 prestige, raise a tribal army, go next door and kick my colleague. Because the fact then that I can't raise enough troops to, their ships to ship them out doesn't matter. Anyway, the stone is raised. The runestone you commissioned is finished and raised on the spot you chose for it. You examine the runes. Ingólfr the Learned, son of the Wild, asked for this stone to be raised in his name. The knowledge he held of the world and of all its wonders was the enviable. Frog folk carved these words. You leave the stone content in the knowledge that many centuries from now, when its point has long since faded, scholars will be studying these rune carvings in an effort to glean the wisdom of their words. It's perfect, so ooh, I get a massive watch of stuff. Well,
So, what claims do you have over Naddoðr?
it's a very interesting point. I can just go for subjugation war.
Right, yes.
This is fine because mostly at the moment my territorial aims are in Ireland, and if I really want to be able to use subjugation more often, I can just decide to try and become King of Norway.
Yes, that seems perfectly sensible. You have a perfectly good other claim on Ireland in the form of conquest because they're all. I was going to say heathens, but that's completely the wrong word.
Well,
I'm not sure what the correct insulting word to use as a pagan is.
pagans wouldn't describe themselves as pagans. I mean,
Well, no, obviously not. But how should they describe the Irish?
yes. I mean, infidel is a nice catch-all
Yes.
thing, right?
Yes.
And I can do
And
that
the thing
even
is
though
that
I can't create the Duchy of Iceland immediately. That's not a problem because I don't have a domain size problem at this point.
Yes, you can perfectly well hold all of them and the one county in Ireland you currently have.
Yes. And I can go out raiding for more money anyway. So I think it's time to subjugate. And I think I should do that by raising a tribal army on the grounds that it's a bit close otherwise. And it
Yeah,
seems...
I mean, this seems a very good use both of your once in a lifetime subjugation and your once in. Well, actually, you'll probably get you'll get a reasonable bonus to your prestige for completing this war, and another one if you actually manage to create the duchy.
Eventually. Yes. And, of course, because these don't count as raised troops, I can then contemplate and see if there's anyone else that can be poked at imminently.
If you can get them on a ship.
Well, if enough of them have died to get them on a ship, yes.
I fear the enemy may not be tough enough for that.
It is entirely possible the enemy may well not be tough enough. I mean, I do have to do some besieging, which does lead to more attrition than raiding. You know, like I've lost people already.
Yeah.
And we could probably lose some more by assaulting that holding. Speaking of which, what are my potential fleet levies? Yeah, okay, I need to lose quite a lot before I can get them there. I've gained one marshal by falling off horses. Right.
And you can gratuitously assault the holding here.
I can. I don't think that's going to
Burn 600
100
troops.
troops.
No.
No. Oh well. Let's release an otter. Right. Let's just check that I... Right, yes, I can't new unit or split this unit in half. And I need some more cash. So I should dismiss my...
They'll evaporate the moment you're on pause, won't
That's true, yes.
they? Peace.
It's true, I am at peace. Warp. Right, there we go, like an old oak table. Right, well, notionally I can get a few more people eventually. Let's raise some troops and go a Viking. This time I'm going to go to Norway because I haven't been for a bit. I want to see what conditions are like there. This is basically an income gathering exercise. In which I wander into everywhere that's a single county and try to make friends with it. Well, I say make friends with it, I mean, you know,
Make friends with his money.
make friends with its money. Its money is very friendly. Ooh, this is a good one. On to the next. I can't help thinking the amount of money here is kind of presupposing. Right, so 20% chance I become shy, 50% chance I become stressed, and 50. Well, let's hope I don't become shy, really. Yeah, I'm going to have to move the ships, but first I need to move the people.
Well, you don't want people to arrive before the ships.
It's okay. Ships are quick.
The single council of Beacon.
There's a small bit of beacon there, yes. I need to see if I can attack. Not attack, I mean nick some money off beacon there. Okay, well, I ran into an army, that's good.
Well, that army was the one that you could see there, but it wasn't hostile
Till I
until you came
turned
ashore
up,
with
yes.
your big raiding flag.
Going, hello, I like the look of your staff. Right.
Oh, you've actually got things in this.
Yes. I'm just going to turn time down a little bit so that I can,
The Beacon army may turn up.
in case the beacon army turns up. On the grounds that they're probably scarier than me. You know what? I don't have enough people to, mess around when I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not going to walk through Jorvik's territory because this strikes me as a fine way to go, oh look, excuse me, I'm terribly sorry, I've just run into 3,000 soldiers. And I can't help but feel that this would not go very well for me.
because the front county is adjacent to both boxes, unless you're planning to run straight out to sea.
Okay, I've got a thought. There we go. Just in case they
I mean,
retreat.
to be fair, the army there that's hostile to you is losing.
Yes. Yeah, but is that the army of that county? So no.
So they were going to flee into that county, stop fleeing on top of you.
Yeah, this is what I was worried
still
about.
Twice as many men as you had.
Yeah.
Yep.
This did not seem like the world's best plan.
Here they come.
And there I go.
Yeah, okay, that was fairly tight. I think they might still be fleeing, or maybe not. Maybe they've just been. No, there they are. Okay,
Yeah.
they would actually just have fled through you.
Yeah, but that's not the kind of thing I particularly wanted to gamble on.
No, indeed.
So they're going over there.
Oh, there's a little bar chart on the left showing how much money it's carrying.
Oh.
If you mouse over that,
Oh, right, so I've got a maximum loot capacity.
looks like that county may not be adjacent to the sea.
It is adjacent to the sea.
Okay. Yes.
Just.
Yep.
You see, it's got the right flag on it and everything, so...
I thought the arrow had ended up with a slight kink where it went through the previous county, but that was not
No,
correct.
it's just a slightly weird arrow. Right. There we are. Oh, I've got my toy shot soldiers to learn strategy with. How dire is my marshal now? Okay, yeah, still sufficiently terrible that you do not want me near an army. So long as we're clear about that. Right. Oops. Off you go over there. I'd just like to point out that my spy is hopeless. Actually, let's move him somewhere, because he's clearly not... Let's move him to Jorvik. It's probably better. Right, you not back in the sea. And over there. Right. Oh. Let's, raid some more. realistically, they raided as far inland as Poitiers. We have rune carvings in some of the Tufo caves there.
It may be that Poitiers is simulated here as having a big enough river.
It's possible, yeah.
And you, as I can't remember quite what it is, probably a Germanic pagan early enough, you have the ability to sail up rivers. I don't know exactly how that works.
That got me 55 gold and 55 prestige. Let's get you all to go snooze. Right, so how much do I need for the duchy? I need another 50 or so gold. Gold. Right. Let's have a look at my fleet levies. Ooh, my fleet levies are getting up to a point where it is feasible when I have the thing I can ship the places now. Obviously I don't necessarily want to use them to do that. Instead, let's go and see if there's anyone who's looking kind of greedy. Particularly in oh no, I can't Norway, because I can't. I need places I can get directly. So Ulster is not
You just dropped dead while you were watching.
right. Ulster is a definite possibility. Okay, he's got too many troops, really. Yeah, maybe.
He has got only 500 prestige
And also he's a...
Probably the problem. But his vassal could raise that tidal army
and squash me.
if necessary.
Connaught is not implausible. Although he does have some... Right. Not really, no. Right, well, he looks plausible. And declare a war of conquest on him. Embark. Ship you off to... Let's go and stand in the sea until we can see what the situation is. Glue you all together. Stick you in the thing. Ship you over there. I think what I'll do is actually go into Donegal Bay, bring everyone ashore in Brifne, and then try and besiege them, and then go and kick them if things are proving tricky. Move you over there. Glue you lot together. And have a look at besieging this tribe. La la la, siege is still boring. I can't help but feeling that Vikings shouldn't get so much of a seasickness penalty and shouldn't have so much penalty coming ashore, because, like, you know, their entire ships were optimised for coming in close to the coast and you know, depositing people and running away. And you know, the whole, you didn't tend to go a Viking if you had problems being seasick and unmotivated after being in a boat. Otherwise you stayed home and farmed sheep and murdered people if you're Grettir.
I don't think that's going to save you, because they started moving forwards.
Yes. Problem is it's plains, so staying there is not going to help either.
Well, I think getting out with as many troops as you can is probably your best hope.
What can I?
I think you already have that command, so I think they will be feeling it as soon as they can. Right, have you got any troops you can raise in the county they've just moved into?
Well, if I have, I've raised them. Ah, right, they got conquered by thingy.
Yep.
Right, well, let's disband them. Disband that.
So what's that realm that's
Suthriar.
right. Ivar the Boneless of Suthriar.
Yeah. Is doing rather better at conquering people than I am. Right. And that has squashed my levies a lot, so I need to wait for those to recover a bit. At least until people whinge at me about things. Levies recover awfully slowly. Awfully slowly. I mean, at least... Right, you're my son. Right, let's arrange a betrothal. Brave, slothful, chaste, charitable. Right. Yeah. Well, probably not completely terrible. Probably. On a good day. I like the way it just doesn't bother generating me a mother or whatever. It's like, yeah, presumably you had one. But
We don't know anything about her, or at least.
yeah. Don't even know her name. Ooh, I can change to agnatic cognatic.
Well, that would be a good way not to end up. A good way to increase your pool of.
Yeah. Let's do that, because that absolutely killed me last game. Right, so now we have agnatic cognatic elective gavelkind, which still doesn't make it easy for women to inherit.
If you now go to the choosing successor, right? Yeah. So you can. Despite what it said, you can perfectly well nominate a female successor.
I just don't have any particular need to at this point.
Because it's elective gavelkind, though a bunch of stuff some stuff will go to your eldest son anyway.
Yeah.
And all your sons when you have them. So obviously your eldest son is still
Important.
a good target.
Yes.
At least until you get the duchy constructed.
Indeed. Which will be as soon as I can afford it. So, who am I? What is my purpose in life? Right, let's make Otter my cupbearer. Well, everyone except my Chancellor is now in double figures, which is, progress. My plan is basically to let my levies recover and then, maybe go Viking or something. But obviously, if I get reminded sooner that I should go and kill things, I shall go and kill things sooner. And obviously, if any of this lot manage to raise a levy that I need to do something with, like, go and invade Ireland, I shall go and invade Ireland. How's Viken doing? Viken is definitely encroaching into the rest of Norway. Southern is doing quite well. I still have a long way to go to recover my levies. So what exactly are the holdings in here? So Vist is Land Tribe, Switzerland
You
Tribe.
just get one tribe in each, and in some cases that's not all you can have. Well, I mean, until you turn it into a castle, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, but I can't. Surely I could have Reykjavik, or at least Ingólfr's hold.
Well, I think once you... Well, I think they end up... Once built as castles, then they end up with different names.
Right.
I think. As in, the tribe, while it appears as one holding, nominally represents the tribal settlements scattered all over the province.
Mm.
And so, in particular, it kind of consumes all of the holding slots. In
Yes.
that it uses the resources from all of the holding slots. So it's named after the province, not named after any particular location in the province. So I think it's possible that once you build a city or a castle, it will end up being Reykjavik.
Right.
If it's in the right place.
Well, yes. Obviously, we should be out herding sheep, etc. Right, you are my nephew. Let's try and betroth you to someone. So that's your betrothed. Let's try and assign you a guardian. Don't get much of a discount for your piety.
I've got half price at 1,000 piety.
Right. I have to say, calling these sea areas northern coast of Iceland, southern coast of Iceland, western coast of Iceland is a bit depressing. Ah, well, my chances busy pissing people off.
I would suggest you might want, if he's going to spread dissent, you might want to do it in Ireland, in the larger
Yeah,
things there.
It's
Or
true.
if anything great bigger than one count, anything where there are actually vassals.
yeah, like there.
Well,
Yeah, that's 2 counties.
yes, but are they held by different people?
Yeah.
Right, and you put him in the one who doesn't have a vassal,
Well, he's got
doesn't
a...
have a liege. Yes, but if you put him in the other one,
Oh,
the aim
state.
here should surely be to break the...
Yes, I'll
Duchy
move him
to
in 6
separate.
months. Right, anyway, let's... Oh
Yeah.
dear. My daughter is slow.
Well, time for a dynastic marriage to get yourself a nice alliance.
Like him. Right, that'll do. I don't really care who's bringing her up. She's a bit hopeless, unfortunately. Icelandic culture, lots of, carved ivory cones, poetry. A pretty wench is throwing herself at you. I can't resist her, so that makes me lustful, which would reduce the thing, or I become chaste. Well, I've had 3 children, so right, let's gain 1 marshal by doing the thing. Let's sow descent in the other one. Oh, right, I've been at peace for too long. Right, excuse me, so I have 955 of your Earth troops. What do my opposition have? Quite a lot of troops, but no prestige. Slightly fewer troops, also no prestige. Okay, I don't want to be there because England are there fighting in. I don't really want to be there either. Okay. About Orkney. Yeah. Don't have a case spell on
Pagan.
because it's pagan. So they've got a scary. What about you? Okay, you're part of Jorvik. Nope, 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 nope. Right, so you have a feudal arrangement. You don't have any defensive pacts. You're also defending against Thingy.
Pretty much everyone is, it looks like.
Yes. So you're the Petty Kingdom of Brittany. You are feudal. You're defending. Is that because you've got territory over there, or is that just because everyone is? And I could just go raiding. Couldn't I? Let's just go raiding.
Raiding.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm going to
Come off the ship again.
turf them off the ship here. Glue them together. Turn on the raiding symbol. Embark them. And send them off to Pharaoh. Probably.
Merge. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me merge them. There we are. Fortunately, I've run into an army.
That's unfortunate.
Yes.
Oh, an actual fleeing off into your ships.
Yes. You know what? It's possible that everyone here is going to be full of armies. Because of the 8 million wars that are going on around here. Can I glue you lot together? I can. Let's turn down time just a little bit to make it a bit easier to see what's going on. Get those last bits. You go there. You go there.
It looks like ships never become movement.
Mm. The ships in this are really weird. Anyway,
Yes.
Never losing any ships is deeply, deeply ahistorical.
Yes, the fact that ships are by far the safest place you can keep your arm.
Yes, is just wrong.
I don't know that they even starve on ships. I think they might still be counted as out of supply while they're on board.
Certainly, they then lose supply very rapidly when they hit land,
Yeah.
if they've been on ships for a long time. Die of Sinja Filki. Hjörleifr, sorry. Something like that. Not that I'm that good on the vowels now. Just don't have the practice. Yes. It's a very weird experience learning Old Norse. Well, partly, the person I learnt Old Norse from, first of all, he learnt his Old Norse from Tolkien. Secondly, he was incredibly revered. I was at a library in Copenhagen to do research, and they were sort of saying, why are you interested in Old Norse, what are you doing? And I said, Paul Beer taught me Old Norse, and they were like, he taught you Old Norse, let me show you all this stuff. And I was like, okay, that's nice, great. Right, I will
Well, sail east.
sail east. I can't march east. I get a bit wet, and then I freeze to death. And yeah, if the cold water shock doesn't get me first. Yeah, I mean, they were perfectly polite to me as, random researcher. Yes, here is the thing that you wanted to look at, etc. when I turned up. But, they were actively, nice. I will be proceeding this. They were actively nice when, they learnt who I'd learnt my Norse from. Yeah, Old Norse is weird. It's got a quite steep learning curve at first, but then it's quite easy because idiomatically it's very like English. Prose like the sagas. Learning poetry is harder because of kennings, which are just tricky little buggers that will try and confuse you. But even so, it's still a lot more straightforward than Old English, where the learning curve initially is a lot easier, but the subtleties of meaning are a lot harder. Norse is a lot more straightforward. Also, the Norse, it's kind of stereotype from the sagas, but they do love their action stories. One of the great sort of ways you can spot this is in Arthurian literature. Now, Arthurian literature is written and translated in many, many languages across Western Europe. Actually including some of Eastern Europe, given that it included, Hungarian. And the big difference is the sort of 12th century, 13th century French writers tended to have people going on for pages and pages going, oh, woe is me, I am in love with someone that I cannot be in love with. Woe. And the Norse were like, yes, I'm in love with someone who doesn't love me, but excuse me, I'm just going to go over here, kill these people, smash through this thing, get on the ships and put the wrong sails up. The wrong sails being a trope, of course, as old as the Ship of Theseus, and one that crops up in the retellings of the Tristan and Isolde Arthurian legend. Doomed love, wrong sails, whoops, everybody dies. This is how you can tell it's a love story. Or something like that. Right, let's squidge some more loot out of this place. Fear the filky. Well, oh dear, I lose prestige, of course, when my chancellors cock up. Maybe I should try and get a better chancellor. What I could get my chancellor doing is manufacturing claims on these single counties. Excuse me while I go and doing that. Because I can't...
I think you just turned it off again.
Damn it. It's so easy to do. Right.
Get the one that's slightly more awkward to raid.
Yep. Of course, I'm going to have to go raiding again to get enough money to be able to deal with it if my chancellor actually does manage to manufacture any claims. Oh well, states. We'll just have to see. I think that's done. Get back on those ships. And off we go to Iceland.
You haven't got very much money this
Hmm?
time. You haven't got very much money from it this time.
I've got...
Oh, okay, the capacity figure as well, I suppose.
Yeah. And it'll be enough for what I want to do. Of course, there is a small problem with raiding, which is that it weakens these places so that the big boys can come in and take over. And I can maybe just about do a quick raid against some places. But
fundamentally, someone comes along and says,
hello,
nice
I've got an army.
What would you like to... could you do with some more protection against these pesky Vikings?
Indeed. Right. Doof. Right, Duchy of Iceland. Create. Which magically gives me enough prestige to raise a thing, which I won't do because I want to keep that for emergencies. Right, let's nominate a successor, Otto. He doesn't like me very much. Ooh, and I can create a couple of new commanders. Right, you'll do. You have a score of 8. Why doesn't my son like me? Okay, he does like me now.
Outraged that you suggested that his sisters might be decent successors.
Right, which is unlikely to expire before my death, really. It's interesting. When I was chief, I was chief of West Iceland, and that was my primary title. But Iceland gets the blue stripes, I suppose, because they're the common things across all of those, is the blue stripy bits. Right. So my demeaned bit limit, and right. Let's see if we
But
can.
now you can actually appoint people as vassals, so
Yes.
a bit more headroom. Yes, and presumably the laws of Iceland should still be agnatic cognatic. So.
Yeah. Right, there we are. Actual competent commander. Laws, you say? Yes, so we're still agnatic cognatic gavelkind for the petty kingdom of Iceland. So, Mr. Bond. A massive 1,500 troops. Let's go and see what's happening in Ireland. And whether it's... Oh dear, my wife is pregnant. Still, that's less of a disaster now that I've got...
Because the duchy will pass intact.
Right, okay, so we're still dealing with the prepared invasion of
And
England.
it looks like it's going to fail.
Yeah, but I want to wait until it's fallen out so
Yeah.
that I don't run into giant hostile troops that I am in no way equipped to deal with. Also, it allows me to... Right, we're also at the point where I can stick a tribal army on a ship if I want to. Although, again, at the moment I want to... Basically, what I want to try and do is mostly keep, like, 500 prestige in reserve for emergency invasion problems.
Because you know what you do when you come across an enemy who has over 500 prestige.
Yeah.
You go, no,
No,
you're
no.
not going to go invade them, not yet.
Yes, not unless I have over 1,000 prestige. But that's pretty rare. So, how old is my heir? My heir is 10. He still has a betrothed, which is good.
Still desperately trying to increase your martial skill.
And still desperately trying to increase my martial skill.
That's essentially the custom kingdom equivalent to the custom empire you used to want.
Yes. Which, you know, I might need... Look! I'm researching things very slowly. Ooh. Okay, yes, of course, my vassals get a vote. Or one of them.
By which you mean your wife?
Yeah.
She is also in favour of your shared son being...
Right. He would be a better marshal. So, he is 16. Right, yes, he's now my marshal. Right. Let's put him organising raids on the grounds that that's a bit more generally useful at the moment. Anyway, actual things may happen. I mean, my martial skill's up to 5. Right, so I can afford to lose 5 gold for being nice to my wife. Oh, it didn't give me any nice traits. Oh well, the states. You know, I've gained 5 whole martial points from, 0. Declare love for wife. Lose 3 points. Right. No, let's declare my love for my wife.
She's gone into hiding.
Oh, good.
Possibly someone in front of murder.
It's possible. Oh, I've got a prisoner. Can I ransom? Oh dear, another son. Right. Let's call him Eric. I can't get him to discover Greenland though.
So Greenland is not on the map.
Greenland is not on the map. Nor is Newfoundland. Even though, you know, Vikings would have made it. Right, yes, well. That shouldn't be a problem losing that title because it should be within my domain. I'll just personally use the title, which is, you know, okay. We can live with that. Right, do I want to spend a little bit of prestige on a housecarl training ground? Okay, right. Let's build up those. Let's glue you lot together. Let's see what's happening in Ireland. Right, let's try and raid Ulster. Back on the ships with you. Nothing happens very quickly when you're paused. Right. They're very small. They're very small indeed. Right, back on the ships. Ship around there. Back out to sea. Let's shove them over there. Let's dismiss people on the grounds that everywhere's a bit scary and I don't want to go and piss off any of the bits of Norway very much just now. Right, let's that's a nice little boost to the treasury, and so on. So, nightmare is 11. How is he doing? Well, I mean, you know, there were worse, but they're definitely better. It's back. Alright, well, in the attempt to try and shove my bedtime back towards a thing that works for getting up early in the morning and going to work, I'm going to save and stop here. So the year is 883.